Your old mate, Sir David Attenborough, Rowan, he's back, and it's all. And remember, I mentioned at the start of the show, Eden Monero, all about climate change, according to Get Up in the Toombul Times. That's the lead story. Get back to normal. So, climate change. Sir David Attenborough says that the battle against climate change essentially has been kicked down the can. The can has been kicked down the road, as I destroy my metaphors here, because, of course, the trouble is that right now the climate issue has been seen into the distant future. Because, he goes on to say, we've got the virus to think about. And what are the papers full of? The virus. Quite right. That's what I want to know about too. But we have to make sure that this issue is not going to be coming off the boil when it comes to the meeting of all of the leaders that are going to be happening in Glasgow a little bit later, which is going to be similar to the Paris meeting here. You can read the rest of his nonsense there. Rowan, boo-hoo, that they thought that they were moving towards global, 50, 60, 75%, and then this thing came along that actually killed people now, and unsurprisingly, people now know the difference between something that will kill you now versus something that they try to scare us that will kill us deep, deep, deep into the future. And I believe that climate change is something that is well and truly part of our world.
Believe away. What we've learned from COVID-19 is the big lesson is that computer modelling is a complete farce and is a killer. In fact, computer modelling is a killer, a very, very dangerous beast that has got out of control. The modelling Imperial College used to basically drive the entire lockdown agenda around the world has now been shown from a technical point of view to be a complete shambles, described as angel hair pasta, the bowl of pasta or something that fell out. It's a joke, and yet economies around the world, taxpayers more importantly around the world, signed up to billions of dollars of expenditure based on completely flawed data. So at every point, the climate change analogy, or the analogy is worth making, i.e. Be skeptical about these computer models. They're fine to have models, nothing wrong with that, but be skeptical about them. Don't demand that they are tested rigorously and retested and retested, and an alternative version is put up and that is tested against that. That's how science used to work. It doesn't work like that anymore. Now we just take the scariest projection, and we say that's what we're doing. So Attenborough, who has a pretty shonky record, I have to tell you, over the last couple of years, he went and did a doco of walruses falling off cliffs who were supposedly, in his doco, dying because the ice had all melted and they were climbing up rocks looking for food because the ice had all melted. Complete rubbish from beginning to end. Firstly, walruses have been doing this for forever, that people know about and have documented way back in the 20s. But more importantly, the evidence suggests that it was Attenborough's own film crew that scared the walruses into falling off the cliff and dying. And that's one theory. So you can't. So I'm glad Attenborough's woken up to the fact that, oh, hang on, maybe we should slow down on this. But really, we've learned a lot out of COVID-19, and I think people should be much more skeptical about climate change, which is based on the same sort of flawed modelling with the same sort of prescriptions, close down your economy. And if we think net zero emissions is achievable, look at what we've done so far, how we've destroyed the economy just in a couple of months. Give it years of net zero, and we will be back in the dark.
Richard.